My daughter's teacher told her that if she wants to sign, she should go to a school for the deaf and took my daughter's phone, so I reported him to the school. My daughter of 13 is autistic with selective mutism. She can join regular school programs with a few adaptations. One of them is that she can keep her phone with her at all times as she uses it to communicate through writing. If she can use her laptop, she will, but if not, she is allowed to use her cell phone because that is the fastest way for her. There are some conditions to it, like no social media and only actually using it if the teacher approves it. She has a copy of the form for this with all the conditions in her bag too. They assured us it would all be fine and that her agreed needs would be met. We were very happy with that because she loves it at regular education. She spent a brief time in special education, and she grew very stressed there because everyone is too different. In regular education, she can see the logic in the people as she puts it. Today they had an internet outage and she had to do some work on paper. Since her laptop wasn't used in class, she had her cell phone on her desk, as per the agreement. This led to the teacher taking it due to the school's no phones policy. My daughter tried writing it out that in stressful events, like her phone being taken, she can't speak, so she is allowed to have her phone with her to communicate. In her opinion, she was not using it. She had it on the table because her bag had to be in the classroom shelves and her clothes had no pockets, which is stated in the agreement to be fine. The teacher didn't believe it and said that he would check it in the student monitoring system once the internet started working again. Until he could check it, he would hold her phone in his desk. She could pick it up once the internet started working and he could check it, or when she went home. She made a last attempt to write and sign. She learned sign language due to her mutism, to ask if she could grab her bag to show the form, but the teacher wasn't willing to budge. She let me know that he seemingly told her that if she wants to sign, she should go to a school for the deaf. Her solution to turn on her phone's Wi-Fi so he could access the internet and check also gained her some comments saying she should stop trying to know better. Throughout the day, he never wanted to take the time to look at the form. She still had classes and there still was no internet, so he wasn't handing anything back. She couldn't go home however, because my husband would pick her up after he got a message saying she had all of her classes for the day. It was a bit of a messy schedule and she was not sure if she would be done at 2 or 3, so she would let him know. At 3:05, hubby didn't get a message yet, so he called her because she should have messaged him way earlier when she knew her schedule. She didn't pick up as the teacher still had her phone, so the military man in him woke up and he went straight to school to go find out what happened. He found her sitting outside the school where she had been after being done at 2 and she used his phone to explain what happened and how she had to do the entire day without a phone and it stressed her out a lot. The stress also blocked her from finding another solution, and since it was her first week she didn't have any people to go to. All her teachers are new as she switched from primary to secondary school so she didn't know anyone, and teachers didn't know her. The only teacher we did speak to extensively happened to be home with a nasty cold. To add to the misfortune, hubby went inside with her to collect her phone, but they found the teacher who took the phone had already left. The phone was still inside his desk as they heard it ringing there when they went to look and he called it. However, the desk was locked and none of the janitors had a key. Hubby was not happy. We have a parent-teacher talk planned for tomorrow, with the teacher who took the phone, a school counselor and one of the school directors. The story is what my daughter and hubby told me. I have yet to hear the school's side, but I had to write it down because my mind is overloading with emotions. I really understand that schools have rules, and misunderstandings over rules can occur, as this so far shows. At the root of any misunderstanding is a miscommunication. The mother in me is still very angry and a bit regretful despite me also understanding that this is just that, a miscommunication that is caused by a larger chain of unlucky events. A similar event happened a few years back at her primary school. She was able to gather the courage to go back to class the next day because one of her 2 favorite teachers there helped her. Today she signed "I hate school," while she usually spent extra hours at school because she loved it so much. Update: my daughter returned to her cheerful self after getting some time alone. She started the day yesterday with a chemistry and physics class where the teacher, different teacher than the one who took her phone, entertained them with various demonstrations while the internet was down. She was mostly impressed by him letting flames dance to music, so it was not a fully negative day. We had a talk at school. The reasons given were a substitute teacher who wasn't fully informed on all kids and they relied on the online systems to inform him, and as the internet failed, he had no way to know beforehand. He agreed he might have turned too much to rule enforcement and forgot that he was dealing with children. As for the phone, he mentioned he did look for her after her last class, but he couldn't find her. She was sitting outside at the time. He made the assumption she left and thus he left the phone in the desk drawer for safekeeping. He mentioned that it might not have been the best solution. The school apologized and promised to work with us and our daughter to improve for future cases. First steps were made right away, to aid communication between her and the teachers. My daughter wasn't present there at the time, but she did let me know that having her cell phone on the table was not a good idea. She should have given him the form first and then grabbed her phone. It is her first week of classes there too, in secondary school, and during her last year at primary school she was very used to the teacher and other kids knowing about the phone, that she didn't think about it. She asked me this morning if I could apologize for that on her behalf, and she promised to show the form at every start of the class. A little misunderstanding I found in the comments was about her using the internet. She let me know that she didn't use her phone at the time. It was resting on her desk. She merely suggested to share her phone's Wi-Fi to let the teacher check her file for the phone agreement. The counselor has given her a traffic light, basically a picto with one side green and a talking face on it, and on the other side red with a muted face. They have used the concept with students with anxiety before, for them to signal when they are okay and when they are overstimulated. It is a tool most teachers recognize, so she offered it for my daughter to try, which she happily accepted. My daughter was very happy with it and proudly mentioned at home that she spent the whole day on green today because she learned a lot and loved that. Monday she will have an appointment to build a more extensive plan. Edit. I forgot to mention about his comment towards my daughter's sign language. He agreed it was very insensitive and said that he spoke without thought as he thought that she was pretending sign to mock the silence rule. The director was not happy about the comment and very much understood our frustration. The teacher and director apologized.